Before there were cities, before there were empires, before the world learned to fear the sound of hooves beating the earth like thunder, there was only the steppe, an endless ocean of grass. No walls, no borders, only wind, sky, and silence. The Mongolian steppe was not a place for mercy. It did not care about dreams or hopes. It cared only about strength, patience, and survival. In the year 1162, beneath a sky so wide it felt infinite, a child was born. The wind howled that night, as if the spirits themselves were restless. The elders gathered in silence. The shamans whispered prayers to the eternal blue sky. When the child opened his tiny hand, they froze. Clenched in his fist was a dark red blood clot. In the ancient beliefs of the steppe, this was no ordinary sign. It meant the child would take life and shape destiny. His name was No one knew it then, but the earth itself had just taken its first breath before trembling. Temujin was born into the Borgigin clan, the son of Yesugei, a respected warrior and minor chieftain. Yesugei was not a king. He was not rich, but he was feared and remembered. He had stolen Temujin's mother, Holin, from another tribe, a common act on the steppe, where love followed strength and survival. Holin was strong. She knew hunger, she knew cold, and she knew how cruel the world could be to the weak. From her, Temujin learned his first lesson. No one will save you. As a child, Temujin rode horses before he could properly walk. He learned to feel the land beneath his body, to read the sky, to listen to the wind. The steppe taught him constantly when to move, when to wait, when to strike. But the steppe also takes. When Temujin was 9 years old, his father left to secure a marriage alliance for him. Yesugei stopped among the Tatars, an old enemy tribe. They recognized him. They poisoned his food. Yesugei rode home dying. He lived just long enough to tell his son who he was, and who his enemies would always be. Then, he was gone. On the steppe, leadership is not inherited. It is enforced. The moment Yesugei died, the Borgigin clan turned away from his family. They abandoned them. No horses, no protection, no shelter. Temujin, his mother Holin, and his siblings were left behind like broken tools. He lived just long enough to tell his son who he was, and who his enemies would always be. Then, he was gone. On the steppe, leadership is not inherited. It is enforced. The moment Yesugei died, the Borgigin clan turned away from his family. They abandoned them. No horses, no protection, no shelter. Temujin, his mother Holin, and his siblings were left behind like broken tools. The steppe swallowed them. Winter came early that year. The grass died. The animals vanished. The cold crept into bones and dreams alike. Temujin's family starved. They ate roots dug from frozen earth. They hunted field mice with bare hands. They boiled scraps of leather just to taste something warm. Holin held her children together with will alone. She told them stories at night, stories of wolves and spirits, of ancestors watching from the sky. But stories do not fill stomachs. Temujin learned hunger, like a companion. He learned what it means to wake up unsure if you will see another sunrise. And hunger changes a person. Among the children was Bektar, Temujin's half-brother. Older, stronger, Bektar took more than his share. He asserted dominance. On the steppe, weakness invites death. One day, hunger became rage. Temujin and his younger brother Kasar waited. When Bektar turned his back, they raised their bows. The arrow flew. Bektar fell. Temujin did not cry. That day, something inside him hardened. He learned a terrible truth. Sometimes survival demands blood. Word spread. The boy who had been abandoned was not broken. He was dangerous. Temujin was captured by a rival clan and placed in a wooden collar meant to humiliate and destroy his spirit. At night, he watched the stars. He memorized the guard's footsteps. He waited. One night, he struck. He escaped. Not with strength, but with patience and timing. The step rewarded him. As Temujin grew, he gathered people like himself. The unwanted, the broken, the forgotten, men who had nothing left to lose. Unlike other leaders, Temujin did not ask about bloodlines. He asked about loyalty. He remembered who shared food with him and who turned away. He reunited with Jamuka, his childhood friend. They swore brotherhood. Blood brothers. For a time, they dreamed together, but their dreams were different. Jamuka believed in old traditions, noble blood, aristocratic rule. Temujin believed in something new, a world where loyalty mattered more than birth. The steppe could not hold both visions. This was the quiet before the storm. The boy who once hunted mice in the dirt was becoming something else, something sharper, something inevitable. Above him, the eternal blue sky watched, and the earth began to prepare itself, because soon the steppe would ride. In the beginning, they rode side by side, two young men beneath the same sky, two warriors born of the same steppe wind, two brothers not by blood, but by oath. Temujin and Jamuka, they shared fire, they shared food, they shared dreams. At night, they spoke of the future. Jamuka dreamed of restoring the old world, a world where noble blood ruled, where power flowed through ancient family lines like sacred rivers. Temujin dreamed of something dangerous, a world where a man was measured not by his birth, but by his loyalty, his courage, and his will. The steppe listened, and it chose. As their followers grew, so did the tension between them. Jamuka's camp was orderly, aristocratic, distant. He sat above others, surrounded by tradition. Temujin's camp was different. He ate with his men. He listened. He rewarded loyalty instantly and brutally punished betrayal. Men noticed. The poor drifted toward the forgotten followed him. Those who had been beaten by the old system saw hope. Jamuka saw betrayal. One night Jamuka left. No farewell, no explanation. The brotherhood ended in silence, and silence on the steppe is always followed by blood. War did not begin with trumpets. It began with whispers. Raids in the night, horses stolen, families burned. The grass drank deeply. Jamuka struck first. He believed Temujin was still weak, still the starving boy abandoned by his tribe. He was wrong. Temujin adapted faster than any man before him. He broke armies into units of tens, hundreds, thousands, each man responsible for the others. If one fled, all were punished. If one stood firm, all were rewarded. Fear bound them. Loyalty strengthened them. And speed made them unstoppable. The battles were brutal. Jamuka slaughtered Temujin's followers without mercy. Men, women, children. He believed terror would end the conflict. Instead, it forged Temujin into iron. From that moment on, Temujin understood something clearly. Mercy without strength is weakness. When Temujin finally defeated Jamuka, he did not celebrate. Jamuka was captured by his own followers and delivered to Temujin. They begged for mercy. Temujin refused. He did not kill Jamuka himself. He ordered him executed without spilling blood, honoring old steppe tradition for noble deaths. As Jamukha died, Temujin turned away. The past was finished. Now alone, Temujin became something new. No longer a boy, no longer a brother. He became the wolf without a clan, and wolves do not ask permission. One by one, the tribes fell. The Tatars, who had poisoned his father, were destroyed. Temujin ordered every adult male taller than a cartwheel executed. Revenge was complete. The Kirites, once allies, were crushed when their leader betrayed him. The Naaman, proud and powerful, gathered their forces. They believed numbers would save them. The steppe laughed. Temujin attacked not with chaos, but with intelligence. He used false retreats, night attacks, psychological warfare. He spread fear before his armies even arrived. When the Naaman leader fell, resistance collapsed. The steppe was united. For the first time in history, in 1206, beneath endless sky and fluttering white banners, the tribes gathered. The Kurultai elders spoke. Warriors kunedito, shamans raised their arms to the heavens. They gave Temujin a new name, a name that echoed beyond the grasslands. Genghis Khan, ruler of all who live in felt tents. At that moment, the steppe ceased to be a wilderness. It became an empire. Genghis Khan did not rest. He absorbed the Uyghurs, learning, writing, and administration. From them, the Mongols learned how to rule, not just conquer. A people without letters became a people with law. The old world trembled. Above all this, the eternal blue sky remained silent. But silence did not mean indifference. It meant approval. When the steppe finally fell silent, when the last rival banners burned into ash, Genghis Khan lifted his eyes toward the horizon. Beyond the grasslands, beyond the familiar winds, there was another world. A world of stone instead of felt, of cities instead of camps, of walls instead of open sky. The East. For generations, the great empires of China had looked north and seen only savage horse people, barbarians, men who lived and died without history. The Jin dynasty ruled northern China with arrogance and certainty. They demanded tribute from the steppe. Gold, horses, submission. When their messengers arrived, they did not bow. They demanded. Genghis Khan listened in silence. Then he spat on the ground. He turned his face to the sky and spoke words that would echo through centuries. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. Between the Mongols and China stood a legend, the Great Wall. A stone serpent stretching across mountains and deserts, built to keep the steppe out. The world believed it was unbreakable, but the Mongols did not fear walls. They feared only stagnation. Genghis Khan did not rush. He watched. He learned. He captured Chinese engineers instead of killing them. He spared craftsmen. He asked questions. How walls fall. How cities starve. How fear spreads. The steppe learned siege warfare, and the dragons slept, unaware. When the Mongol armies moved, the earth trembled. They did not attack in one place. They attacked everywhere. They flowed around fortresses like water. They cut supply lines. They burned fields. Cities that resisted were erased. Cities that surrendered were spared. The message was clear. Submit or disappear. The Great Wall was not stormed. It was out. Mongol forces passed through mountain passes, thought impossible. They appeared where no army should exist. Panic spread faster than arrows. By 1215, the Mongols stood before Zhongdu, modern Beijing, the heart of the dragon. The siege was relentless. Catapults darkened the sky. Fire rained down like judgment. Inside the city, hunger became a monster. People ate leather, then animals, then each other. When the walls finally fell, the city burned for weeks. Smoke covered the sky. Genghis Khan did not celebrate. He watched, and he remembered. China was not destroyed. It was broken and reached. The Mongols took gold, silk, knowledge. They left governors. They learned bureaucracy. The steppe absorbed civilization without losing its soul. After years of war, Genghis Khan returned west to Karakoram, his growing capital. He sat among scholars, monks, and merchants. He listened more than he spoke. He knew something vital. The world was larger than conquest, but destiny was not finished. Not yet. Beyond the deserts and mountains, another empire waited. An empire that would make a fatal mistake. The Khwarezmian Empire. Before the storm comes, the air grows still. Birds fall silent. The sky feels heavy. So it was when Genghis Khan turned his gaze westward. The Silk Road was the artery of the world. Through it flowed gold, spices, ideas, and faiths. Merchants spoke dozens of tongues. Caravans carried the breath of distant civilizations. Genghis Khan did not wish to destroy this world. He wished to trade with it. He sent a caravan to the Khwarezmian Empire, an empire of glittering cities and proud rulers, stretching across Persia and Central Asia. The caravan carried silver, furs, and letters of peace. But in the city of Otra, greed whispered, louder than wisdom. The governor accused the merchants of spying. He seized their goods, and he had them executed. Genghis Khan was shocked, not enraged. Not yet. He believed this was a mistake, so he sent 3 diplomats. Unarmed, peaceful, sacred under the laws of all civilizations. The Khwarezmian Sultan answered. He shaved one envoy's head. He executed another. He burned their beards. It was an act that shattered the balance of the world. Genghis Khan wept. Then he prayed. Then he rose. The eternal blue sky had given its answer. He gathered his sons, Joki Shakatai, Ogade, Tolui. He did not shout. He did not rage. He spoke softly. I give you the greatest war the world has ever known. The army moved like a living shadow, over deserts believed impassable, through mountains said to be cursed. The Khwarezmians waited behind walls. Walls had failed before. They would fail again. Bukhara fell first. Genghis Khan entered the mosque. He climbed the pulpit, and he spoke. I am the punishment of God. The city vanished into smoke. Samarkand, jewel of the East, followed. Its defenders surrendered, believing mercy would come. Some were spared. Most were not. The streets ran dark. History fractured. The Sultan fled. City after city fell. He died alone on an island in the Caspian Sea, watching the empire crumble into dust. His son, Jalal ad-Din, fought bravely. He faced the Mongols at the Indus River. Defeated, he leapt into the water and vanished. Genghis Khan watched him escape. He admired his courage and let him live. The world changed. Entire regions were emptied. Maps were rewritten. Civilizations ended, but the Mongols did not stop learning. They spared engineers, doctors, scholars. Destruction walked beside preservation. The storm passed, but its scars remained. And the Khan, now older, turned inward. He began to think not of conquest, but of order. When the fires of war dimmed, when the echoes of screaming cities faded into memory, a different silence fell across the empire. This silence was not fear, it was order. Genghis Khan was no longer a young warrior racing the wind. His hair carried the color of winter. His eyes had seen too much. He understood a truth few conquerors when the fires of war dimmed. When the echoes of screaming cities faded into memory, a different silence fell across the empire. This silence was not fear, it was order. Genghis Khan was no longer a young warrior racing the wind. His hair carried the color of winter. His eyes had seen too much. He understood a truth few conquerors ever learned. An empire won by the sword can only survive by law. The Mongol world had once been chaos. Tribes fought endlessly. Blood demanded blood. Revenge had no end. Genghis Khan broke the cycle. He created the Yasa. Not written in stone, not carved into walls, carried in memory, enforced by absolute will. The Yasa was simple. Steal and lose your hand, lie and lose your tongue, betray and lose your life. But it was also revolutionary. All men were equal before the law. Noble or slave, Mongol or foreigner. No one stood above it, not even the Khan's own sons. Religion became free. Muslims prayed, Buddhists meditated, Christians sung, shamans whispered to the sky. Genghis Khan listened to all. He believed the eternal blue sky spoke in many voices. Priests and scholars paid no taxes. Knowledge was sacred. Merchants traveled without fear. The Silk Road became a protected vein of civilization. A traveler could cross continents carrying a golden tablet of protection. The world connected itself. Ideas moved faster than armies. Craftsmen were spared. Blacksmiths, engineers, doctors. Genghis Khan understood. Empires are built by hands, not hooves. Rank was earned. A shepherd could become a general. A slave could command thousands. Loyalty was the highest currency. Birth meant nothing. This terrified old aristocracies. It inspired the forgotten. Genghis Khan ruled simply. He slept in a felt tent. He ate the same food as his soldiers. He listened more than he spoke. And when he spoke, the world listened. But time is undefeated. The Khan felt his strength fade. The steppe whispered of endings. Every storm, no matter how vast, must one day fade. Even the storm that shook the world. Genghis Khan felt it before anyone spoke of it. Not weakness, but distance. The sky felt farther away. The wind no longer answered him as quickly. Still, he rode. To the southwest lay the land of the Tanguts, the western Shia kingdom. They had once submitted, then they rebelled. Rebellion could not be ignored. Not at the end of a life built on order. The campaign was brutal. Cities fell. Fields burned. The Tanguts begged for mercy. Genghis Khan offered none. Some betrayals cannot be forgiven. During the campaign, something happened. No one agrees on what. Some say he fell from his horse. Others whisper of an illness. Some tell darker stories. A wound, a curse, a woman with a hidden blade. The truth was swallowed by silence. In 1227, beneath a sky heavy with dust, Genghis Khan died. But the world was not told. His generals hid the truth. The army marched as if nothing had changed. Orders continued. Victories came. Only a handful knew the sky had lost its chosen son. When the time came, his body was carried north. The funeral procession left no witnesses. Anyone who crossed its path was killed. Rivers were diverted. Hooves erased tracks. The earth closed its mouth. Genghis Khan was buried without a name. No tomb, no monument, no gold, only grass. As he had wished, the steppe reclaimed him. But death did not end his rule. It released it. When the wolf dies, the howl does not end. It spreads. The death of Genghis Khan was hidden, but his will was not. Before his final breath, he had spoken clearly. The empire would not be torn apart by chaos. It would be carried forward by blood and by law. The sons gathered beneath the same endless sky. Each carried a part of their father. Each carried a shadow. The throne passed to Ogadei, the third son. Not the fiercest, not the most feared, but the most balanced. Ogadei understood what conquest alone could not provide. He built roads. He expanded Karakorum. He strengthened administration. Under him, the empire did not merely expand. It functioned. The Mongol armies rode again into Russia, into Eastern Europe. Cities fell like dry leaves. Kiev burned. Hungary trembled. Poland bled. Europe felt the breath of the steppe for the first time, and it did not forget. In the north, Jochi's sons ruled. Their domain became known as the Golden Horde. They mastered the plains of Russia. Kings bowed. Princes paid tribute. Over time, they embraced Islam. The steppe and the crescent became one. A new civilization was born. In Central Asia, Chagatai ruled. He guarded tradition. He enforced the Yasa without mercy. His lands became the backbone of Mongol identity. The old ways survived their longest. To the southwest rode Hulagu, grandson of Genghis Khan. He carried the storm into the Islamic world. In 1258, Baghdad fell. The Abbasid Caliphate ended. Books filled the rivers. The water ran black with ink. 1,000 years of history collapsed. In the east, destiny took a different form. Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis, looked not only to conquer, but to rule as an emperor. He moved the capital to Beijing. He declared the Yuan dynasty. For the first time, China was ruled completely by outsiders. Kublai embraced bureaucracy, Confucian scholars, imperial ceremony. The steppe wore silk. The empire stretched too far. Distances grew. Languages changed. Beliefs shifted. The single flame became 4 great fires. The Yuan dynasty in China, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Golden Horde in the north, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia. They fought. They traded. They remembered. All traced their power to one man. The wolf had many sons, and the world bent beneath their paws. Empires fall. Walls crumble. Names fade, but some shadows do not disappear. They move. Genghis Khan left no palace, no throne of gold, no carved statue pointing to the sky, yet his presence never left the world. It simply changed form. Long after the hooves fell silent, the roads remained. The Silk Road, once fractured by fear, became a single, protected artery. Merchants crossed continents. Ideas traveled faster than armies ever had. Paper reached the west. Gunpowder followed. Knowledge flowed. The world became smaller, connected. The Mongol Peace Pax Mongolica did what no empire before had achieved. For a moment in history, the world spoke to itself. Genghis Khan's laws echoed through time. History calls him inevitable. Cities remember him in ruins. Nations remember him in borders. People remember him in stories. The boy who starved on the steppe changed the direction of the world, not through mercy alone, not through cruelty alone, but through understanding how power truly moves. And somewhere, beneath endless grass, without name or stone, he still rests, listening, watching, as the wind crosses the steppe. Look at the world today, the roads you travel, the nations you know, the ideas you inherit. They all carry echoes of hooves, of fire, of law, of silence. Because some men do not die, they become history itself. The end.